Hello guys, welcome. In this video, I'll introduce you to something called programming. What is programming? Programming is an art of communication between us humans and computers. So, actually, I'll just show you a few articles. Yeah, this one basically tells you what a programming language is. So, as I told, communication needs language, and those languages are called programming languages. As we humans have a many number of millions of languages, even this computers have a lot of languages. You can see how many languages are there. You know, nearly a 20 to 30 in each letter. So not 20 to 30 actually, many languages. So basically, each organization or each company uses the language for their requirements, and I'll be using something called Python. So Python is a programming language used by many of the people in this world. The reason is, you know, it is very friendly, it's user friendly, it's programmer friendly, and its ease of use made it so brilliant. Many things are already predefined in Python, which reduces the work of programmers. It's very interesting, right? So yeah, that's the article showing. Next, we'll go back to Spider by Anaconda. Here we'll be writing our code, and this is the console. This is the area of execution. Basically, Python is an interpreter. It does line by line execution. So that is the reason it is not possible to write the whole code in this console, because it only does line by line execution. If we write the whole code here and then if we execute it, the output is displayed in this something called console. Great, right? So I'll be starting introduction to coding. Great. Now, firstly, I want to introduce Python to you as a calculator. Interesting, right? So let's start. So now what I did is 5 plus 3, it gave me 8. Now I'll do some more arithmetic operation. 6 minus 2 is 4. Now how you do multiplication? So we use a symbol called asterisk for multiplication. 5 times 3 is 15. To raise something to the power of something, we use two asterisks. Okay, 5 times 5, actually we think, but it's 5 raised to the power of 5, which is 3125. And next we'll go to something called division. Okay, 6 divided by 3 actually gives me 2.0. Okay, what is the reason behind that? Why didn't it give 8.0, 4.0, 15.0, 3125.0, and it here only it gave me 2.0? I'll tell you the reason in a moment. We'll explore some more division operations. 5 by 3 will give you something like 1.666, but here you can see 7. The reason is it's an approximation. Actually, it is not the actual answer. I'll show you another example. See, 2.33333 and 5. So we can tell it's not such precise in these decimals. Okay, it is way good in the whole numbers, but a bit imprecise in the floating point or division decimals. you know so as I told you, I'll be telling what is the reason behind this 0.0. The reason is this symbol actually represents floating point division. Floating point in the sense decimal point. So if we use this operator or if we use this symbol, it will also give us the decimal points of that division. Now, if someone comes to me and asks, okay bro, great, now what should I do if I don't want that 0.0? Good question. For that, there is a solution. 6 divided by 3 will actually give you 2. It's not actually divided by, it is called the integer division, and this is the floating point division. And what is an integer division? Integer division will only return you the whole number part of the answer. Okay. Now if you see the same example, 5 by 3, it is only returning this whole number part. And similarly, 7 by 3 will return only the whole number part. So these types are called ints or integers, int. They are basically ints, and these things are called actually floats. Okay, these are the data types, which that's a fancy way of telling them. Actually, they are a kind of different types or grammar, we can say. Like in our English language we have grammar, it's a kind of grammar. So this is the proper the syntax or the things we'll use in this Python. What is syntax? Syntax is the set of rules we need to follow. Now what if I don't follow? Good question. 5 plus, I actually thought of giving 5 plus 3, which gave me 8 here, but it's giving me a syntax error. What is the reason? Because there is no number after this plus. Okay, because it's showing it's a syntax error because I am not following any rules and regulations. There are predefined rules which I need to follow to talk in this language. It means there are some set of rules I need to use in this programming. Great, I introduced syntax errors as well. Good. Next we'll explore another operator, which is 5 modulo 5. So 5 modulo 5 is giving me 0. What actually is modulo? Modulo is something called division. No, it's the remainder that remains after dividing the red number or the first number with this blue number or the second number. Now, what if I do 2 modulo 4? Great. It's giving me 2. Why? 2 divided by 4 will give me a remainder of 2. That is the reason it is returning the value 2. Okay, great. We came so far. Next, okay, until now we did the operations, each arithmetic operations in one line. Now let us combine all of those. I'll give something like 5 plus 4 minus 3 is actually 6. So what it is basically doing is, first it is going with this the arithmetic of the the addition, and then it is coming to the subtraction. That is the rules or that Python will follow. And next, if we do something called 6 times 3 minus 2 is actually 15. But 6 times 3 minus 2 is 6 times 1, right? 6 times 1 is 6. The reason is, first it is going to execute 6 times 3 and then it is subtracting minus 2. So if I want to do the reverse of this, how should I? There's a trick to do that also. You just enter the first thing and put some parenthesis, or put those values 3 minus 2 in a parenthesis. So what happens is, anything in the parenthesis will get executed first and later the outside part. So the same way what we use in our mathematics, right? Bodmer's rule, brackets of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So great, we came so far, and I'll be introducing you to another kind of error message other than syntax. In arithmetic there is an error message. What if I divide 5 by 0? 0 division error. Division by 0 is not possible. So I used proper syntax, I followed all the rules, but did something what Python cannot do. So 0 division error is the error that showed up. Great, that's all we'll be learning in this video. I'll just show you the notes. Python as a calculator. So that's what we saw in this video. We saw how to perform addition, subtractions, multiplication, exponentiation, that is raising something to the power of something. Integer, this is float division actually. And next we also talked about integer division and modulo, that is remainder. You can see the English description, expression, and the result. And we also talked about the data types. What are those? Ints and floats. Int is the just a whole number part, while float is a whole number part, including the decimal number part. In this example, actually, what I want to show you is this part is the whole number part, 5. This is the decimal point, and this is the floating part of this whole 5.6. Okay, and similarly here this whole thing is the the whole part. This is the floating point, and this is the floating point number, like that. Now I also told you about the arithmetic order of precedence. This is the arithmetic order: exponentiation, negation. So what actually is negation? Negation is something like 8 minus 8 plus 2. Actually, we should read it as negated 8 plus 2. Okay, so it is not similar as what we did over here. 6 minus 2 is not same as minus 8, minus 8 plus 2, because the reason is there we are subtracting things, here we are adding things. It's actually opposite, but we are adding a negative number or negated number. So that's very wrong to say that we are adding minus 8 to 2. We are adding negated 8 to 2. So negation is considered the second order, second highest operation. Later comes these all things. Actually, they are considered as a group in Python: multiplication, integer division, float division, and modulo. And I also gave a brief. I also gave briefly. You'll just forget these and you follow this order: multiplication, float division, integer division, modulo, addition, and last comes the subtraction. And before this, the highest one actually is what? The braces, or what we call as parenthesis, right? Later these all, and the last one is the subtraction. And we also talked about syntax and semantics. Semantics is the meaning of the combination of Python symbols. It gives you the instruction. It actually means the instruction which are given to a particular combination of symbols, or in other words, the instructions given by the user to a particular symbols to what they do when they get executed. That is actually semantics. No need to worry a lot about them. Next comes the error. We saw them: syntax error, we saw the zero division error. Great. So we came so far. That's it in this video. In the next video, we'll go a bit further.